The starting lineups for both teams. First, for the Heat, Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. Then it's LeBron James. And it's Haslam at the 4 slot. And for San Antonio, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Duncan in at the 4 spot.
You know, I thought San Antonio really was an outstanding team. Fun to watch, excellent at both ends of the floor. But one statistical thing that stood out was they defended at a high level without committing a lot of fouls. That takes discipline and smarts.
LeBron, no good.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Yeah, they're lucky that they didn't get burned on that one.
Back to Parker. Kicks it to Duncan. Spurs working the ball around now. Green dishes to Splitter. Shot is no good. And it's Miami the other way. And Clark, as you said about that Spurs team, just a team that does not foul very often. Doesn't give away free points. And, Steve, they led the league in fewest fouls last season.
Well, that's part of Greg Popovich's mantra. I mean, don't give up anything easy. You can't guard a free throw, obviously. You can't guard a fast break. So important for the Spurs to avoid fouls and take care of the basketball and be efficient offensively, and that helps their D.
Wade kicks to Chalmers. Leonard with the steal. Parker outside. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
Broke out the finger roll, guys. That was kind of a stylish finish.
And Doris Burke caught up with Coach Greg Popovich. Doris?
Of course, the conversation veered to the challenge of defending LeBron James, and he said there's not a lot of good options with him. He can really do it all. I think you just have to try and stay in front of him, and if he gets in close, you have to bring help. And guys, we've seen LeBron really force the issue as far as getting into the lane. We'll see how they do.
Thank you, Doris.
I don't know who was supposed to be on him there, but clearly a mistake by the defense.
And Chalmers kicks to Bosh. It's stolen by Green. Now here's the fast break. Parker leading the way. Here's Duncan. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker.
Well, had a little mini slump there to start the game. Missed his first 3, and maybe this one will get him into a groove here.
I tell you, Tim Duncan turned back the clock last season, didn't he? One of his best in years, and one of his best seasons ever when it comes to blocking shots. For a guy who doesn't get a whole lot of elevation, it's his timing that allows him to be a shot blocker without bouncing real high.
And that's on a bounce. San Antonio will retain possession. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in. And Leonard gets it to go. You know, back to Duncan, Steve, you could make a credible argument that with the exception of Larry Bird, no player in NBA history has been more successful while blessed with fewer hops. I mean, I don't know if you'd say he's athletic.
You're right. I mean, he's not real athletic, but, man, the skill, the savvy, just the incredible knowledge of the game. One of the great players of all time.
Just such a pro.
Yeah.
Just such a pro. And here is Parker after LeBron James hitting the 3. Chalmers against Parker. And it's blocked by Bosh. To the paint. And LeBron throws it down.
I tell you what, you got to love his aggressiveness finishing inside like that.
Well, his leaping ability, Clark, gives him a great advantage.
And that's why they look to get him the ball around the rim. I mean, it feels like it's either a dunk or a foul and a couple of free throws every possession.
Spurs have gotten 5 of 10 shots to drop in this game so far. Right at the 50% mark. Parker passes to Duncan. Duncan right side. Here's Green. Can't hit.
Hey, the defense was right there, just waiting, doing a nice job of anticipating that play.
Steve, every team needs tough interior defense to be successful.
Chalmers' shot is no good.
While not as dominant on defense as they were a year before, the Heat still were tough at that end of the court. The thing is, you could see them turn it on and turn it off when they needed to defensively, so they always managed to get the key stop when they needed it.
And a new group in for the Heat. Chris Anderson is checked in for Bosh. Battier comes in for Udonis Haslem. Ray Allen, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Norris Cole in for Mario Chalmers.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
And when you're coming off a title like the Heat are, there is, a natural tendency to cruise. But, Clark, you said this, and Steve, I'm sure you want to comment on it. They can turn it up in a hurry.
Well, there's just so much athleticism on this team. If they want to pressure you in the half court, they usually can force turnovers. And if not, they can also sit back and play a more straight-up defensive style and be very effective that way as well.
Battier, he's covered by Ginobili. LeBron dishes to Cole. Back to LeBron. 6 to shoot. That 3 off the mark.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, he had a really good look. I mean, he'll knock that down more often than not.
And Parker, here we go. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Parker's got 10 points in the game.
They're being very one-dimensional right now, going to the post every time. But if it works, you don't need another dimension.
Well, they're taking this defense to task, quite honestly. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
They're off the pick from Diaw. Ginobili kicks to Diaw. All sorts of time. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
They've been getting out-muscled on the boards before coming up with that one.
Not playing tough enough. The physicality just hasn't been there yet.
Bellinelli with the 3. That's good. Bellinelli's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3s. And at the end of one, both teams putting up some points. It's San Antonio up by 3. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Spurs.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnover.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, guys, Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, one of the most respected coaches in the league. As hard as he works, he's never took the game or himself too seriously. Asked about his creativity as a coach, he said, quote, "Oh, heck, I don't know anything about innovation. Here's my innovation. I drafted Tim Duncan." Okay, end of story. Guys, always a straight shooter.
Thank you, Doris. I would say Coach Popovich sold himself a little bit short. He's a very humble guy. And very well respected.
He sure is. And he knows how much Duncan does out there, but we all know what a great coach Pop is.
Chris Bosh is checked in for Chris Anderson. The feet to Wade. Gives him the lead pass. Stolen by Ginobili. Parker inside. Defended by Cole. Ginobili misses. And they're on the break. Bosh passes to Wade. The Heat making a switch here. Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Allen kicks to Haslem. Can't hit. Nice D from Duncan. Spurs leading by 6. Parker with it. Now defended by Mario Chalmers. Parker against Chalmers. Leonard dishes to Parker. Backing in, 5 to shoot. Back to Leonard, takes a 3. Miami grabs the miss.
A dramatic improvement for the San Antonio Spurs defensively last season, guys. Coach Pop had suggested that they might have gotten too old to be an elite defensive team anymore, but that wasn't the case. I think he challenged them a little bit, and they raised the bar of their defensive performance.
To the middle. It's stolen by Haslem. Bosh passes to Haslem. Good ball movement here by the Heat. Allen kicks to Chalmers. From the arc. That's good. Chalmers has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And Clark, you mentioned the defensive improvement of the Spurs. Going into last season, their stat gurus told them they needed to focus even more on contesting shots, even if that meant committing more fouls or allowing more offensive rebounds.
Well, that's exactly what they did, Kevin. They gave up a few more offensive rebounds, fouled slightly more than they had the prior season, but they were better in terms of shot blocks, steals, and they held their opponents to a lower field goal percentage. So a great example of getting an edge with advanced stats.
You know, for a guy his size, he doesn't play above the rim very often like he did on that swing.
Still got some power behind him, though.
Yeah, I mean, you let him get in close like that, he'll throw one down hard on you.
Ray Allen is on the wing. Back to Chalmers. He feeds it to Wade. But he stays with it. Kicks it out to Allen. Pass to Chalmers. Parker with the steal. Into Green. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
Well, the big thing with him is that corner three-point shot. That's his spot. He loves drifting to that area. And so defensively, you've got to keep an eye on him. But what that does is it limits the amount of help you can give when he's on the floor.
And something else you notice about him offensively is what a dangerous catch-and-shoot player he is. He's got a quick trigger. Boy, this is a neat story, guys. Danny Green was undrafted out of North Carolina. And another nice find for perhaps the best organization in all of sports, the San Antonio Spurs. He's an excellent three-point shooter, over 40% from three-point range for his career. He helps that team spread the floor, and that energizes their high-powered offense.
Wade kicks to Chalmers, and it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here.
That was an awfully risky pass, guys. Lucky it didn't wind up as a steal.
Well, it nearly did wind up as a steal, but no harm done in the end. They hang on to possession.
Now here's Bosch. Wade dishes to Allen. The pass to Chalmers. Fires from deep. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession.
24 seconds.
Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. With his first shot attempt, there's Allen. That's good on the assist by Chalmers. And Green, nice versatility, too. Not just an outside shooter.
No, he's an excellent defensive player. In fact, Greg Popovich calls upon him to often guard the opponent's best wing player. So for Green, a two-way player, guy who can get it done at both ends of the floor.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, Dwayne Wade, maybe more so than LeBron and Chris Bosh, has had to make sacrifices in his role when they assembled the Big Three in Miami. Wade said, quote, "If I was a selfish guy, it never would have worked. Myself and LeBron both being alphas. But you can only play this game for so long. And when you leave this game, what memories do you want to have? I want to have memories of success as a team. And it's not easy. It's hard. But the only thing I need to prove to myself is that I can be a part of a winning team. Guys, that's what it's all about."
Well, they've got it right, Doris. When you win, all the accolades take care of themselves. Green gets a screen from Splitter. Leonard, no luck.
Oh, that's a frustrating one there. Easy look at the hoop.
You know, no denying it's been a heck of a run the last few years for the Heat, but you can't help but wonder if the impending 2014 summer of free agency could be the end of it all. The Big Three came together in a flash of lightning, it seemed, but it could end just as fast if one or all decide to opt out.
And here is Diaw. After the three-pointer from Chalmers. Diaw, the pass to Green. Good. Green's got 6 points in the quarter.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
And Clark, as you were saying, the trio of LeBron, Wade, and Bosh all have options in their contracts to become free agents in 2014 if they choose to. And, Steve, you have to think that at least one or two of them might exercise that right.
Well, you know LeBron will, because he's the most underpaid athlete probably in the history of sports. He's worth 10 times what he makes. But it's going to be interesting to see what Miami does here the next couple of years with their roster.
Bosh. That is good. Bosh has got 6.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You know, force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
Parker kicks to Diaw. Pass to Green. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And we've finished one half of basketball. Spurs lead by 6. We'll have the start of the third quarter for you shortly. But first, it's the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
This is 2K Sports. Who doesn't like a little basketball late at night? San Antonio on top against Miami. A dramatic advantage in the paint. They're getting right in close and converting the kind of buckets they want. Everything is going right for Tony Parker all over the court against Miami. We all know he can deliver huge performances, and he could be on his way to another. And a tough matchup, but the Heat staying afloat. And look at all those rejections, erasing easy looks, just making it hard around the rim. LeBron playing well in the first half. He's got 7 points, and on the defensive side of the floor, he's definitely been contributing with some focused defensive work. That's it for us here in the studio. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
What a game for Tony Parker. 10 points, and he has 1 steal to his credit as well.
But he's done a better job than the numbers indicate, really. I think he's been really sound defensively, and he's helped his club.
You know, Miami went to that smaller lineup last season, and a big change in that was having Chris Bosh move over to the 5 spot. Not his natural position, but I thought he held his own both offensively and defensively playing in the middle.
And that one's good. Parker.
He's terrific with the floater, and that's not an easy shot.
The Heat trail by 8. Wade outside. LeBron James on the wing. No good on the 3. And for Bosh playing the center, Steve, he's giving up some weight out there.
But he's a very smart defender. He avoids fouls, and you know, the way the league is these days, most teams play smaller, and Bosh can normally find a center that he can guard without too much trouble. But there are a few matchups around the league that are a problem.
Well, they got the speed and the pressure of that Miami defense. You think they're able to compensate for any lack of size inside by using those other things.
Yeah, that's normally the case against, I would say, the vast majority of the league.
And here's Duncan after LeBron James hitting the 3. Duncan dishes to Green. He kicks to Parker. Shot clock at 6. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Parker's got 14 points for the game.
Such an aggressive attitude he has. No invitation needed for him to take it strong to the basket.
The Heat trail by 9.
Well, I think this is one of the more amazing stats in sports when you think about it. No matter the season or the roster, the Spurs just seem to find ways to win 50 games. They've done it 14 straight seasons now, which is off the charts.
Outside Leonard. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Passes it to Duncan. The 11-footer. And it's Miami with the rebound. Bosh has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And Clark, as you said, the Spurs last season hitting 50 wins for the 14th consecutive season. By the way, that's an NBA record. Second closest were the Lakers with 12 straight, Steve, from 79 to 91.
Yeah, 58 wins last season for San Antonio. Greg Popovich calls it corporate knowledge, just the consistency that comes with the experience of the group. And they've been together so long, particularly that core, that I think it allows the Spurs to really kind of cruise at times during the regular season.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Chris Anderson is checked in for Bosh. And Shane Battier subbed in for Udonis Haslem. LeBron kicks to Cole. Fires for 3. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. Cole's got 6.
The D has gotten a little lax defending the three-point shot at that end.
Agreed, Clark. They've poured in 3 of the last 5 baskets on pretty open looks behind the arc.
Good! Coach Popovich was fined last season for sitting out his top players in a nationally televised matchup against the Heat. I certainly understand the league's posture there, and it was a lot said about it. Yet, for a veteran team like the Spurs with championship aspirations, I understand resting key players during the course of the regular season.
And here is Parker after the three-pointer from Cole. Manu Ginobili on the wing. Wade is covering, and Chris Anderson picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Tony Parker. Dishes it to Bond. And the layup's good off the glass. And back to that fine for Popovich, $250,000. Steve, that'll leave a dent.
Yeah, no doubt. But, you know, Popovich enjoys tweaking the league at times. This was clearly an effort to do that. But, look, I think it's good for him to actually kind of let the league know every once in a while that if you're going to give us that kind of schedule with my older team, I'm going to sit them down once in a while. You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
Now here's Ginobili. He has 5. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is, and so they will award the basket there.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down. As great a player as Manu is on the court, his true impact on the NBA might not be felt until years from now. His success has captivated South America, and we should be seeing a lot of players influenced by him come into the NBA down the line.
San Antonio with the ball after the three-pointer from Cole. Ginobili against LeBron. Can't get it to go.
Great defense in the paint there, making it tough on the offense.
That's what he brings, a presence. I mean, you saw it on that miss.
Cole, the pass to LeBron. Feeds it to Cole. Back to LeBron. Some nice ball movement here by the Heat. Just 5 on the clock. And Cole kicks to LeBron. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. And Clark, you mentioned Ginobili's influence abroad. He grew up in Bahia Blanca, Argentina, a basketball hotbed down there. This is woven into the fabric of everything that he is.
You know, he does. He comes from a basketball family. Coaches, players. His brother played professionally in Europe, but just a tremendous player and human being, Manu Ginobili, obviously representing his country in the NBA.
And they take the lead. And that's now 18 points for LeBron.
Boy, they've come out of halftime just smoking hot from behind the arc.
Hey, trust me on this one, partner. They are going to continue to let him fly.
Now here's Ginobili. He has 5. The 9-foot shot. LeBron with the block.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
With the lead pass. Lays out. And that'll be Miami as it goes out of bounds. The Heat retain possession. There's 18 seconds left in the third quarter. Misses the 3. And here's Leonard. Back to Ginobili. Leonard on the wing. Puts it up. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Heat out front, up 2.
All right.
We'll take a quick break, then get you back to the action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Heat.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
And I'll tell you, the other thing that's been a factor is the transition game. They're scoring a lot of points on the fast break.
Here's Cole. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. LeBron's got 4 assists in the game.
Third three in a row right there.
Adjustment time for the defense, guys.
Bellinelli dishes to Ginobili. Kicks it to Bellinelli. The good-looking shot from the wing. The Heat leading by 3. LeBron passes to Bosh. It's Battier on the wing. Allen outside. He dishes it to LeBron. Cole back to LeBron. He passes to Allen. The feed to Cole. 6 on the shot clock. And the Heat, another 3.
He is bombing it today. How many more threes are we going to see from him?
Well, we've already seen plenty. The majority of his points have come on that shot.
Now here's Leonard. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Nothing too fancy, just simple execution. That's getting the job done when they need to make every possession count.
I agree, Clark. They need stops, and they can't afford any wasted possessions. Those inside shots are really high-percentage looks.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, guys, I was able to listen in on what Eric Spoelstra was going over with his team in that last huddle. He said, we are this close to finishing them off, but the job is not done yet, and I don't want to see any let-up out there. You'll see how well his point got across, guys.
Thanks, Doris. Ginobili kicks to Diaw. Back to Ginobili. There's the dish to Diaw. They get it back. Leonard on the wing. Ginobili outside. Back to Leonard. He feeds it to Bellinelli. The 3, and that one's good.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Bosh, he's guarded by Diaw. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Mario Chalmers picks one up.
And the defense fouling there to prevent that layup, forcing 2 free throws here.
Nice job that time of attacking the paint and drawing the contact. They'll take that.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Daniel Green, he's checked in for Ginobili. And Tony Parker subbed in for Bellinelli. Now here's Bosh. And the pass to Haslem. Back to Bosh. And that one's good. And the Heat lead by 1. I think Clark and Steve, we can expect a dramatic end to this one.
Well, 8 lead changes would have you thinking that would be the case.
Yeah, both teams really competing, neither side giving any ground. This should be a fun finish. I agree with you, Kev.
Parker dishes to Green. Back to Parker. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
I tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for the Spurs. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Parker against Chalmers. Parker kicks to Duncan. Back to Parker. Duncan with the screen for Parker. Clock at 6. Parker left side. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down.
Seems to me that anytime the game is on the line, he's perfectly willing to be the hero, or the GOAT for that matter. And that's what it takes to be clutch in big situations. You can't be afraid to fail.
And, you know, he's also a tough finisher, Steve. There's very little a defender can do if he gets to within arm's length of the basket.
Took him no time at all on that one. And now it's a 3-point Spurs lead. And, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for San Antonio.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And the other thing they're doing is they're forcing turnovers and then converting those miscues into points at the other end.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Dwayne Wade is checked in for Ray Allen.
In a crucial spot, he is always so solid at the line. He rarely wastes those opportunities. It's
Parker with the drive. 6 sent that one away, but after it touched the backboard, the refs are on it, and they call him for goaltending.
Big call, Kevin. He just didn't get there quick enough, and that's a tough break.
Wade gets to Chalmers. Pass to Bosch. Out to Wade. Dishes it to Haslam. Duncan on him. Pass to Chalmers. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
Got sloppy in a close game. You have to take advantage of every opportunity.
Parker outside. Back to Duncan. Rejected by Haslam. Duncan, the pass to Splitter. That's good. And the Spurs lead by 4.
You just can't afford to let somebody get that good position in the paint.
Well, it's more than trouble when he does catch it down there, Steve. He's never going to miss from that range.
Good ball movement here by the Heat. LeBron outside. Leonard with the steal. Leads him in there. Parker and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the strike for 2. First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. And so both free throws are good. And it's a 6-point ball game.
The free throws go down, and the lead goes up.
Miami's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Wade, guarded by Green. Wade dishes to Chalmers. There's the triple. It falls. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3. A big bucket there to quiet this crowd, Clark.
You know, that's exactly what you got to do. Take them out of the equation. Make those fans be quiet.
Yep, and that's exactly what he did.
Now here's Duncan. Outside, Green. Just 5 to shoot. Foul call. Looked like that he didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws. Mario Chalmers picks one up, so the first one drops, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so he drops them both. It's a 5-point game.
Nice work there. Steps up, knocks them down, and makes it a 2-possession game.
And here's LeBron outside. Rebound by Tony Parker.
Not the best shot. Long range and with a defender right in his space.
And defensively, that's the kind of work he's known for. I mean, he loves to lock you up.
So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game. Miami's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. Wade can't hit. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from 3-point range here in the fourth. Chalmers against Parker. And Mario Chalmers gets the whistle that time. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. And Miami making a change here. Second one is good. Getting both at the line, and it's a 9-point ball game here.
And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
And it's Cole missing. Now Parker. And so it's San Antonio with the win. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Tony Parker.
If I take you there, would you believe in fairy tales? Oh, a place where no one feels the pain, living without suffering. Roads are paved by loving hands, energy from turning fans. Oh, so won't you open up your eyes